Hi there, I'm Kelsey Ruff-Smith, Director of Programs at the Community Foundation for Ocala-Marion County, and joining me today is Karla Grimsley, the Executive Director of Interfaith Emergency Services. Hi Karla, thanks for being with me this morning.
Hi, Kelsey. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you. Interfaith is a really well-known and staple nonprofit in our community, but just in case there's someone watching this who is not familiar, can you tell us a little bit more about your nonprofit, what your nonprofit does, who you serve, and the needs you fill in the community?
Absolutely. We have been in the community 37 years. We were started by a group of local ministers trying to meet the basic needs of people that were coming to churches that were struggling. And so they pulled all their resources together and created Interfaith. And the design was to be one centralized place where that churches could support and refer people to when they showed up at the churches in need of basic things such as food, clothing, shelter. We've expanded now to do medication assistance, hygiene. We have a shower ministry. We have a backpack feeding program for kids. So we do a variety of services, but we focus on basic needs, the most essential needs people need for life.
Okay. That's that's critical, especially right now as we go through this crisis. So, Karla, with the novel coronavirus, what are you finding are your biggest challenges right now?
Um, for one, we've had to completely change the way that we process clients. We have a very structured process to eliminate duplication of services and keep people honest and to manage our resources and just have accountability for our clients and make sure that we're reserving our resources for the people who do need them the most. We've kind of had to let that all go by the wayside because of the increased risk of exposure by handling paperwork back and forth and identification. So that's been a huge challenge. The other challenge is that we have a workforce of about 300 volunteers that show up faithfully on a weekly basis, and they are our workforce. They're the ones that make our ministry run. And most of them are senior citizens, so we've lost our workforce. We're down what we used to do with about 300 volunteers every week. We're doing with about 25 volunteers every week, and my staff. So the workload has just become extraordinarily heavy.
Wow.
And then the other thing is access to the resources that we need. Just like the community that goes into the grocery store needing to buy canned goods or toilet paper, those kind of things, those are the items that we provide. We can't get access to them either. So those have probably been our three biggest challenges is, kind of, if you wind it down, it's very similar to what individual citizens are experiencing in their own homes.
Yeah. And on such a big scale that you're in the middle of, with such critical services. It's a really tough time to be a nonprofit, but, in spite of all of the hardships, what is it that you find you're most proud of through all of this?
Oh gosh, just again, this community and how uh, supportive and loving this community is for its neighbors. You got to realize when people give to interfaith, it's typically the people that have giving to the people that have not. And so the majority of our donors are never going to meet. They don't know the people they're helping personally. So it's really it's that the goodness and kindness of people's heart that make them give because they do care about their fellow man. And that's very moving when I see people show up with donations just because they're concerned. The other thing that's just blown me away is the tenacity of my staff. They refuse to give up. As long as we have donations to pass out, they want to keep coming. They want to keep, picking up donations. They want to keep serving because they realize that if we stop serving, there are people that are going to go hungry. I mean, the virus, we all have a certain level of risk of getting the virus, but the people we serve have 100% level of risk of going without essential needs such as food, some of them showers, shelter, if we don't operate. So my staff have taken that very seriously, and it's a strong conviction for them And I've just been amazed at how they show up every day in spite of the fact they have kids at home they're trying to homeschool and then still come into work. They have their own family members who they're concerned about. Some of them have their own health issues, and in spite of that, they are still coming in and serving, and it has really inspired me.
That's amazing. So I know that as soon as people are watching this, the first questions they're going to ask are, how can they help you right now, or who would you need help from today?
Okay, right now, like this week, um, if you can go to the grocery store, like I know a lot of people are sending in money, and most of the time we want that money because then we can turn around and buy what we need in bulk, and it makes everything just a lot easier to handle and manage and control and make sure we have the right stock. But right now we can't get it. Hopefully within a week we'll be getting an order. But for the rest of this week, if you want to make a donation, even if you can go in and buy whatever limited number of cans or non-perishables you can. We need peanut butter. We need canned meat, canned fruit, the box mixes of macaroni and cheese, or instant mashed potatoes, rice, beans, anything like that are non-perishable, that are easy for us to pass on. If you can go buy your allotment and pass that on to us, then we can share it with families. We had two ladies yesterday that made masks and raised $400 selling masks in their neighborhood. And they took the $400 and went down to Aldi's and filled it with 2 grocery baskets full. That's more than I can get right now myself.
Yeah.
So it was really it was fun to watch them go through that process and figure out what they could buy that we could use. But that was really helpful. So this week, if people want to just drop off actual canned goods and non-perishables at our warehouse, that's huge. Going forward, the monetary donations will be tremendously helpful because we are working with Cheney Brothers now. We have a couple of other vendors we're lining up to do some orders through wholesalers. So we're hopeful that in the next week we'll have more food coming in that we can pass on, because obviously the demand is a lot greater than it normally is. During normal times, we serve between 400 and 500 families every week. And think about your family and how many groceries that that constitutes. So we pass on literally thousands and thousands of pounds of groceries every week. Normally, right now, we're seeing people that have never asked for services before. We're having people call us and say, I've never been to a pantry. What do I do? We're having people that are in management, people that, were leaders in their businesses come in and are needing help now because they haven't received a check. I know the stimulus checks are coming in this week, but up until this week, there's been so much uncertainty. And so, a lot of people have been turning to us just to make sure they can feed their families.
Wow. So, what's the best way that people can get in contact with you so that they can help?
The best way really is to call our main number, 352-629-8868. You can also message us through our Facebook or just send a message to info@iesmarion.org. And of course, that's I for Interfaith, E for Emergency, S for Services in our county. So it's easy to remember, iesmarion.org. And someone will get right back to you. A lot of people out there have my cell number. Don't hesitate to use it if you have it. And I will, because I know that we've had a lot of good support over the years, and I'm welcome those people to call me directly if there's something they want to do or a way they can help.
Fantastic. Well, I really appreciate your time, Karla. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, just to say thank you to the community for what you've already done. And I have no doubt that in the months ahead, you're going to continue to be the amazing community that you have always been. And, I should be worried, but I'm not, just because I know the love and kindness that is so prevalent in Marion County. And I just thank everyone for acting on it. The convictions that are so deep in this community aren't just convictions, people act on them. And I just want to say thank you. And we commit that we're going to help as many people as we can as long as you support us.
That's so wonderful. Thank you, Karla. I really appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you, Kelsey, and thank you for all the community foundations doing to support all the local nonprofits here too. We appreciate you so much.
No problem. We love it. Okay, we'll talk soon. Thanks. Stay
All right.
safe.
Take care. You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye-bye.